29. Let's call to order the City of Denison Main Street Inc. Incorporated Board of Directors meeting. Are there any public comments for today? All right, we'll move on to item 3, items for individual consideration. Let's receive a report, hold discussion, and take action on the approval of the minutes from the December Main Street Incorporated Board of Directors meeting held on January 22nd, 2026. You'll find that on the back side of your agenda.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Those minutes are approved. Why am I hitting the gavel? Receive a report, hold discussion, and consider support of a partnership with the Denison Arts Council for the implementation of a healthcare program.
So through our music friendly, you may remember us talking about the healthcare program that Dallas started with Creatives Care. And does everybody know just vaguely about that? Okay, so it's a healthcare program that through discussion with them, we are going to be able to offer it to our downtown businesses, and our musicians and related industries like CAT, and then may have a sound man, a doorman, and things like that. So the George could use it for their employees. And then it will be for artists as well. So we have determined that it would be better served through the Denison Arts Council than us, because they are much more agile at being able to sign a memorandum of understanding and get it on their website. So to me, it doesn't matter who's the one that signs the memorandum of understanding, as long as we're able to deliver the product to our people. And so that's what we're voting on, is letting them be the keeper of it, and it will last on their website. So what else as far as, so that's what we're voting on. Just kind of a recap of the program, because it will be available to businesses. Let's say Melissa has 4 employees, so you can offer it to 5 people, whether it's a band or an employee. Maybe they're part-time and you can offer them health care, or maybe you just don't have a health care program. Then you can offer this program to your employees and alleviate some of their burden. It will cover medications, up to 2,000 medications, as long as they're on the list. And I'm not real familiar with medications, only the ones I have to take, and they say they're pretty common, the ones that are on the list. So $75 a month for up to 5 people. So Melissa might pay the $75, and then her employees could have this benefit. And when they need medication, they would go to the pharmacy, supposed to be any pharmacy, and get their drugs at no cost. And then the other benefits of the program are up to 8 mental health visits per year, and I don't know if that's per subscription or per person.
I think it's per person.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then also it's telehealth, so it's you have a doctor that's assigned to you. Doesn't matter if you're on a trip somewhere, you can still use it. So that doctor would provide your general needs. And then there's also urgent care telehealth. So that's the program. No need for anybody to feel obligated to take it, but if it will benefit you and or your people, then it would, it can alleviate some of the burden of healthcare. And what else?
I think that's pretty much it.
Okay.
It'll cover Grayson and Bryan County.
That's the intent so far.
And if y'all don't know, Cindy has a whole background in health. She worked at hospitals, and so she's been great talking to and making sure we got all our I's dotted and T's crossed on it. So it seems like an amazing program. Dallas was the first one to do it, and then we met with them, and they've met with basically every music-friendly community around this area. So it's a really cool program, and we're super excited we're able to offer it to businesses too.
And it escaped me, but if you sign up by the 25th of the month, the next month, you can start your coverage. And then, let's say you can't afford it one month, you can just not pay that month, not get services that month, but jump back in the next month. So it's very flexible and user-friendly. Any questions?
Is it purely telehealth, or is there any in-visits and inpatient visits there?
Just telehealth.
So even like the mental health one would be a telehealth one?
Yes.
Okay.
And they said, you'll get a primary, it's not like you'll just get a random person every time. You'll have someone assigned to you, and if you don't like that person, you can get a new one. You're not locked into anyone or anything like that.
Is it $75 a month per individual for the business, or just a
Per-
blanket?
Per group. So think of it as a band, they said. If,
Okay.
you got your band,
Yeah.
you
No,
could
that's
do
awesome.
it as long as it's in the same state.
Okay.
So, because we have so many musicians that come from Oklahoma, that's why Cindy and I, after talking to them, thought maybe we would start with Bryan County and Grayson County, and that would be our coverage area. So we would come up with some name that, the name, the coverage area, and then they sign the memorandum of understanding after their board approves it, and then they would get it on the website, and then we're ready to go. So,
Donna, and you said it's $75 for up to 5 people, so what if your band has 8 people, then would they just get 2
yeah,
policies? So 75 would cover 5, and then they'd have $75 for the other 3 with 2 available.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's awesome. Good.
And this,
Is it a major medical policy, or is it just a general, anything is better than anything, anything
Right.
is better than anything. But is it a major medical policy, or is it just?
no, if you didn't have any coverage at all, my thoughts are that you would buy a major medical, where if you had to go to the hospital, you've got some relief there, and this would just cover day to day, and yes, it would just be better than nothing.
So it's like a gap plan or something like that?
and it's the primary person on it needs to be over 18, but it can cover kids too. It's not just adults. So, if either you have a kid or employee has a kid, they cover that too.
We just wanted to make it available for our business owners because we thought that there may be some needs that could be filled there. But it's designed for musicians and, traveling artists that don't have care. So that's, they tend to not have anything at all. But the guy that designed it has medical coverage, but he still does this because his medicines are more, for his family, are more than the $75 a month. So it can be used with that, and government benefits are not affected, or it doesn't matter. So like if you have VA benefits or Medicare or anything like that, this is separate from that.
Is there a timeline that they're expecting to kind of debut this and share it with the community? And at some point, I'm assuming we'd want to distribute the information.
Yeah, I don't really know. We've been moving as fast as we could, and I assume the Arts Council is of the same mindset. So they have a web designer that can pretty quickly knock this out. It's really a simple website because it's just a landing page. It takes you to, after you say, like for Dallas Creative Cares, you have the landing page and it says, are you a creative in Dallas County? And then you say yes, and it takes you to the healthcare page.
Okay.
So it's not an extensive website. So I don't think that it will take long. I mean, I would say in a couple of months it could be operating, but that's one reason that the Arts Council, Cindy volunteered for them to be the carrier of it, is because they can get it done quickly. So do you think a timeline different than that?
No.
Sometime this year.
Yeah, I think that'd be accurate. And I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll do, like Dallas had a big kickoff event whenever it was launched where they had like people playing music and stuff. So
That's on, yeah.
I would imagine we'll
wondering
do something like that.
if we need to put that on the horizon. Mhm.
All right, do I have a motion to approve the healthcare program?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we are in support of the new healthcare program.
Yay.
And at 8:41, let's adjourn the City of Denison Main Street Inc. Board of Directors meeting. And at 8:41, let's call to order the City of Denison Main Street Advisory Board meeting. Are there any public comments? All right. On to items for individual consideration. We'll receive a report, hold discussion, and take action on the approval of the minutes from January 22nd. You'll find those starting on page 3 of your packet.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as written.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The minutes are approved. Let's move on to hold discussion, consider recommendations for a policy regarding rentals of downtown parks.
So as we are getting toward the opening of Heritage Park, we have been thinking of policies that we might want for use of Heritage Park. For instance, I don't think family reunions, birthday parties, or even weddings are really appropriate for that park. That seems more a Katy Park use that would be a good match. And so we need to develop policies and procedures for the use of it and how it's booked. And there's also fees associated with it. So let's say Shonda Raines wanted to come in and have a concert out there, and she brings her own sound. I'm glad that it's being used. It's entertaining, for the people that are watching, and it's not costing us anything. They're just standing on our stage. So I don't see the need for there to be a fee charged there. But let's say that they have to have staff time to be there because we can't open the green room and the sound equipment room, storage room, without staff available. So that's going to cost the city, and also the use, wear and tear of our equipment, the sound equipment, will be a cost associated with it. So I don't know what that will look like, but there will be some charge related to it because we'll have to replace things and as such. So I'm open to thoughts on that, but mostly the use of it and the restrictions, if any, that we want to apply to it. Of course, it will be a daily use park. They designed it so that people could have their lunch there, and it would be used like they saw it. The project designers saw it used for Music on Main and Fall Fest and things like that, but they didn't see it being used on a daily use. And so they want to put some tables out in the front and there's some seating options, so, they want to see us reading a book during lunch or just enjoying our lunch there, getting it from one of the businesses nearby and just going outside. So that's kind of the feel of Heritage Park. And of course, it's, we will specialize in events. But so just to preface all the agenda items, that's been discussed at one of the promotion committee meetings, and Sam was in that. I wasn't able to be there, and so they gave us a list, and I intended to work from that list, but we've been pretty focused on the awards tonight, and so pretty much all of our effort has gone into that. So there are some of the same issues with the coming agenda items that we will just send back to committee, or if you have any thoughts, or if you want to be forming thoughts, and we can bring it back to another board meeting. That's really a discussion, and this is the beginning of it.
Donna, I think it's, sorry. I think it's important, your example of Shonda wanting to put on a concert there, even though she's using her own equipment. If she reserves that date, then that removes it from your calendar, so a paying event wouldn't be able to take that date. So I think there should be a nominal base fee for just using the space, and then if they use the equipment or the green room or the other things, then build that fee up from there. But I think there should be just a base fee for reserving that date and pulling it out of rotation for your calendar.
I agree.
What was the policy before the D3 project? Was there anything in place for?
Nothing written, really. We had always gone by, if you're providing entertainment for our downtown, we want to keep music going and activities going. So, like if the school called in and wanted to use the park, we just let them and, marked it as booked. We really didn't have a lot of conflict, like, oh, somebody else has that date, darn, there wasn't much of that. So we didn't have that problem. I would assume that it will be more of a problem when we get the new park, and definitely something that I don't want to, Hunter calls and says, I want to get married there. No, Hunter, you can't. I don't want to have to tell Hunter no. I want to have a policy that it's our policy that there's no weddings.
No private events, like a
Yeah,
wedding would
private.
be private.
Yes,
No
that's a
private
better.
Because that covers whatever, like a birthday
Yes.
party or.
Yes.
Because like you say, if you do like a music event, it's kind of for everybody. So if people are walking down the street, they might stay longer, they might shop longer, they
Right.
might eat,
Yeah.
whatever. So I think that if it's like something that is for the community that people walk past and want to hang out and listen,
And even if
it's
it's,
going to be a big benefit.
to use Shonda again, even if she's reserved it and it's her performers and their families, it's still for the public.
Right.
Um,
Right.
Whereas like a wedding or something like that.
Yes.
Wouldn't
No,
be.
that's a good way to describe it.
Right.
All right, and do we want to form a committee to come up with this, or can it fit into one of our current committees, do you think?
It could fit into the promotion committee. If somebody not on the promotion committee has specific thoughts, they could join the promotion committee, or they could just sit in at the meetings. But that would be my recommendation.
Do I have a motion?
I'll motion
For what?
for it to join the promotion committee.
All right. All right, we'll continue that discussion. Do I have anyone second that
I'll
motion?
second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion is approved. All right, let's receive report, hold discussion, and consider a survivors party at the end of the D3 Phase 2.
At the recent business owners meeting that we held, there were certain items on the list that came from that meeting. And so we were able to take care of a lot of those and address them, but there were certain things that were of a longer tenure or that we just couldn't immediately address, maybe because they took longer or because we needed more input. And so this is the first of those on the agenda. And it was mentioned during that meeting that we needed to have a survivors party. It has been our custom to give everybody that gets through the construction a survivor monster. And Nisha does those, and she stitches in D3, and it's really cute. So we could have a party, and we could give everybody monsters at that party. It could be at the ribbon cutting, typically as well, and it's not intended. We want business owners to come to our ribbon cutting when we have the end of it, but typically they don't. Very few have
Why
attended
is that, do
those.
you think? Bless you. Is it at a time that they can't attend, or are they just unaware that it's happening and they're invited, or what do you think the reason they're not there?
I don't know. Maybe they're just tired of the construction and just,
Yeah.
I don't know. But they're welcome. So I said that to say that this could be a part of the ribbon cutting, or it could be totally separate. I don't know, and I don't care. I just want the business owners to take ownership of it and enjoy it.
I
Because
think
it
maybe
is a
combining
celebration.
the two, a
Pardon?
ribbon cutting and survivor party.
What?
I think combining the two
Oh, okay.
would be great, a celebration of you. You survived.
Yeah.
We'll have the park this time too, so it probably will be more set up to be able to do something like that.
Yeah.
So are we thinking this is gonna be in the summer?
June, sometime in June,
June.
July.
On a weekend?
It doesn't have to be. It could be in the morning, it could be in the evening. Really just, we want to have it so that they'll be able to come. If it's on Friday night, again, June 18th is the date that has been set for substantial completion. So I would assume it would be somewhere in the neighborhood of that. If we get additional rain, it could be, June 25th or whatever. But I would assume in the middle of the summer. And so, evening time might be better. I don't know. That's something that can be decided. So it doesn't matter to us. We don't have a budget really. We can put some into it, but we don't have a budget for it. But I think it's just the gathering that they were wanting in the celebration. So Melissa is in the middle of that and was at the meeting. And if you would like to serve or to offer thoughts on it, I would be
Yeah,
interested.
I think that most definitely, I think it should be on a weekend. I mean, I know it's about us, but really it's about our customers coming back and showing them in their support. And there's nothing like, a Saturday, to bring everybody
Yeah.
back to Main Street and show them at the parking, show them, you know what I mean, and include them.
Yes.
Because it's really about them. I just feel like it should attract more people. And June and July, I mean, are the slowest times on Main Street. And so we need an event in June and July.
No, that's a very good point. That I wasn't thinking of the customer, but if you could engage the customer in
It
it,
will
that
make every business person happier to
Yeah.
see their sales go up. That's how they
Absolutely.
can celebrate.
yeah,
But I definitely think it should be for our customers, all of our customers on Main.
yeah, that's very important. So I don't know when the ribbon cutting will be. But I would think due to the nature of it, they're typically in the week. So I think maybe a separate weekend shopping event of some sort would be good.
I think maybe you could have a ribbon cutting Friday morning and then
Yeah.
have it tied into something happening Saturday.
Yeah,
into the
weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this would be something probably organized through maybe the organizational committee or.
So typically promotions are through the
Okay.
promotion committee,
Good.
but it could be a joint. We could have a special, like we have Doc Holiday announcing our birthday. It could be just a special committee. The organization committee doesn't have a lot on their plate right now.
Mhm.
And so I think it could withstand planning an event.
With the park being right there and kind of like the middle of it, balloons out there and just make
Yeah.
it look really kind of festive, that people are going to come check out what's going on. And then
Kinda like-
hopefully go to those businesses on that block.
I'm sorry. Kind of like the Doc Holiday, you know how y'all have the barbecue and stuff the night before?
And it's a
You know,
bluegrass.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bluegrass, have the ribbon cutting so all the business owners can come after business hours at like 6 when we all close. And then have that be the kickoff launch for all of Saturday and bring all those patrons down to show them, Main Street.
Yeah, I like that.
Look, we have parking.
And a park.
You can drive.
Free parking. I like that a lot. In that season, we will be having Friday night music, and so we're having to plan music on Main for Forest Park. But I think that we could do a 6 o'clock ribbon cutting, and then mention it again at Music on Main, and then tell them about the Saturday. I don't think it would be wise to have a hard and fast date yet, unless we gave ourselves some cushion and put it in July. But we can discuss all that in committee. I think that's a very good plan.
Yep.
So our promotion committee meets 8:30 on a Wednesday, second Wednesday. And so if anybody, we can invite anybody that is, even if you don't want to stay in the promotion committee, you could come for that and help plan that.
Now, is this going to be under promotion? I thought we said it was going to be under
Organization.
organization.
So that's what Rebecca asked. And I just said that I think it's more appropriate under promotion because of the business and customer aspect of it. But it could be under organization or it could be combined either. You're the boss.
No, I'm trying to just,
Because the thought came to my mind because the org committee did the block party last year after the GAMSA.
Yes.
Right, exactly. So I was just thinking in terms
Yeah,
of who has the bandwidth,
right.
yeah,
all right, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve
All right, for what committee?
promotions and organization if needs be, you can join.
Well, but Donna, you said that, that the organization committee might have the bandwidth now to do it because they're,
No, I
No.
said the promotion
oh,
committee.
promotions has the bandwidth
Yeah,
to
Okay.
do it now, so, okay.
Yeah, it
But-
was just a suggestion. I didn't know
Yeah.
which way she wanted to go with it.
I think that we could just make sure we invite the organization
Yeah.
committee. Rebecca. because- No, well,
I did not volunteer myself.
she is our most regular attendee. Yes, and we appreciate that. And so we could just make them aware of it. Yes, the next.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, that is approved to go to promotion committee for the planning. Melissa. All right, let's receive a report, hold discussion, and begin developing a good neighbor policy to distribute to business owners.
So that also is an item that came out of the business owners meeting. And we have a good neighbor policy that says about, that was developed a few years ago and distributed. Probably new business owners aren't aware of it. It's kind of distributed as needed. And so it's saying that parking, business owners need to park away from the main street and leave those for your parking and your neighbor's parking. Things like that. It says if you have contractors' deliveries, unload and move to the nearest off-street public parking lots. Don't leave your work trailers, trucks, and the parking spaces in front of businesses. And then smoking on the sidewalks and alleys in front of a business is prohibited. So basically, you got to be 25 foot away from the door, and so that's in the middle of the street. That's the only place that one could smoke. And so people that are allergic to smoke are offended by smoke, and somebody, especially contractors that are used to working out in the wide open spaces, tend to smoke, and that's offended some business owners. And so that's the good neighbor policy. Now, I don't recall specifically. I would have to go back to notes on what the good neighbor policy from that meeting was intended. I know that the trailers was a
Parking.
big point of discussion.
Yeah, and parking.
Yeah, so we can just send this out again, maybe tweak it a little bit, and unless there's anything else, I don't.
And how is it distributed?
Email.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was the only way. I don't know.
And what about putting it on the downtown businesses Facebook page?
Yes. I guess we had. Yeah, we probably did that.
Warriors.
Yeah, it was years ago, but I think that's absolutely.
It'd be great to get it out there again.
Yeah, as many ways as we can. And if we need to, we can, mass distribute it. It would probably be good to have some board members to, take it to your block or something like that. But unless you have other things that we need to add to it, we can just revise it.
Is there anything that we need to add? Because it seems like it's business owner based. Is it also for the loft livers?
Oh, yeah,
And then
that's
go, hey, bag your dog's poop or whatever that
Yeah.
needs to be.
Good
Or
point.
park your car in this area, not,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very good point. I think that as we were walking over to the Eisenhower Fountain, I noticed where a puppy had peed on the base there, and anyway, that's not healthy for our infrastructure. And the old streetscape. People walk their dogs all the time at night, but when the dog needs to potty, it needs to go to Chestnut or to our new under construction dog park and Forest Park. So I think that's a very good part. I made something in Cat and Ernie put it up in their lofts. Is it still up? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay,
She
so.
only had it up for one day. just?
No,
She put it up because she was told.
They were-
And
Yeah.
it came back down.
they
Stood there
were,
and held it.
they were aware of the problem, and they were
Yeah.
trying to help be a solution, and they requested it. But there's still a problem over at the SNAP Center of people using that. When people go to that, it's kind of the aroma gets to them, and so it's not just a great place for you to take your dogs. So anyway, I think your point is very well.
And then if there's anything that we're gonna have, with the new park, it might be the time to update it here too. Hey, reminder, it's not designed for this or that.
Yes.
And I'm brainstorming along with y'all. I hope Sam's getting everything. But sidewalk dining. So we want sidewalk dining, but we've got a sidewalk dining policy that has been distributed. But again, you have new business owners come in, and so our sidewalk dining. Just a quick fact, directing them to the sidewalk dining policy. And also things on the sidewalk usage, I guess, because there are guidelines that we have in place. So I think that would be a good reminder as well. I don't want to get it too much. I don't want to clutter it so that you just glaze over it and don't read anything. So it's going to have to be short and sweet, but to the point.
But it could include links like to the other policies,
Yes.
like the sidewalk
Yes.
usage policy and the, I don't know,
Yes.
bag your dog's poop policy.
Kind of like in your board member handbooks that you got last month, the last page, Sam put links to everything, kind of like that.
I think like the D3 updates, like reminding people and putting it on the bottom, like in a bold
Yes,
thing.
remember to be a
And-
good neighbor.
And actually read those. I mean, with the thousands of emails a day, some people just skim through it, but it seems like everybody's passion right now because that's our focus. But even after D3 is over, I feel like that should continue. The monthly or not weekly, but maybe a monthly message for all of us of updates. I know the chamber puts one out, but again, those are like a lot of events that don't pertain to everybody.
Right.
But just like that D3 update or downtown, because there's things changing all the time.
Right.
And when we moved in, we never knew of anything like that. And, I don't recall seeing it. So just something that
Right.
it's constantly in people's face is a fresh reminder.
Yeah, we sent out two. So there's a downtown update, and then there's the D3 update. It's not necessarily on a regular basis. It's when we have something to share. So it's not like every first Monday you're going to get an email, but when we have things to share. But I think you're right. Really, we used to have that when a new business owner came, they got a new business owner's packet.
Yeah.
Well, things just got out of control, and it needed to be updated. That needs to be done, which this is that. It's just too much. Like if I handed this to you, you're starting a business, you have no time to do that. You just need something. Okay, do I need to know this? Is it relevant to me right now? And then move on. And so we need to focus on getting that updated and make sure all the new business owners are caught up. So I don't dilute your email with it because many don't read through the whole email.
Just like when they apply for a CO, that they get,
Yeah.
these are our procedures, and then just a reminder at the bottom of every, like, update, kind of like a little square, like, hey, by the way, yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a good idea. So we can definitely do that. That's great discussion too.
Is that an item we need to vote on?
I don't think so. We'll bring it back.
Okay. All right, on on to the next item. We'll receive report, hold discussion, and consider the feasibility and logistics of creating and distributing block-by-block parking and navigation maps for D3.
So this, if you read the agenda item, it sounds like I don't want to do it. That's not the point at all. I want to understand what is requested, basically. And so that was parking, and I do want to add, it's been asked this week if we could replace the temporary parking lot signs with our permanent parking lot signs, and that is, Public Works has to execute that, so I've ordered my part of the materials, including new pretty posts, let's just say, that match the street post, the Jefferson Highway or the new stop signs. And so all that's been ordered, but, you know, they've had things like the ice storm and different things that have taken up their time. So we're just waiting on those. We've got the materials, but it's got to be all put together. Mel Clymer even designed a map for us that is on the website that Sam has put together, which shows parking. And Melissa, we made some revisions to that and offered to you for your special event. So that's kind of the flavor of what we're trying to get on in the parking lots. Once you get in the parking lot, it's kind of a navigation where you are and how you get to the other places. So if I were coming to downtown Denison for the first time and I knew to do it, I could look on the website, find out about parking, you know, here's the lots, they're all free. And then I would find my way to the lot, and then I would see the map that directs me to the businesses. So if there's a link in there we're missing, or if something else needs to be done, I just am kind of, I don't know what that is. Melissa, do you recall any more?
It was super helpful. No, I
Yeah.
just feel like businesses need to share it. That's all.
Okay, we
Yeah.
could maybe refer to it in the good neighbor policy, but we could also do a special post or mention in the newsletter that, you know, it's helpful to share to your customers. I was having a conversation on the sidewalk with a couple of business owners this week, and, you know, we were just back and forth what would make sense. And I said, well, if they're seeing it on Main Street, they're already parked. And this is with the construction zone. They're already parked, so what gets a parking map there? It really does, you know, you want your customers to be able to find you without being frustrated by the time they get to your store. And so I think that would be a helpful way. And of course, our social media is a good way also. That's helpful.
And once the downtown opens up more, I feel it won't be that hard. You know, people will be
Right.
easier to navigate. But a lot of people, it's just awareness. Like, no one knew about the church not using their lot. I mean, even Judy said, we're not open on Sundays. Y'all can use this on Sunday. But, you know, the signs throw everyone off.
Right.
And, like, the parking behind the 400 block that you enter through 34, like by 34 Top House there, no one can find that entrance. So it's just about, yeah, it's such a hard time. And the end of the 400 block by Judy's is blocked off now. So I cannot tell you how many people this week are trying to turn. Did you see that? Turn around in that little alley because they can't get out because they're pouring concrete this week. And so,
Yeah, and they've moved
And they're
so
trying
the
to-
alley is blocked
Right.
now. That was
Yeah.
Cruz's
Right.
thing, he'd come up and then he'd go down the alley, and he's like, I can't do it. I'm like, I
Yeah,
shared the email with you.
it's near impossible to back up right there. And then I I think somebody's moving in or doing some kind of loft work in the middle of the block, and they've been unloading, so the whole, like, our UPS couldn't come, the mail guy couldn't come yesterday, because there's no, but it's just communication, I mean.
Yeah. And also, it's temporary.
Yeah.
We try really hard to keep up with all the signage, but, you know, we fall short. And so it's helpful when the business owners communicate with us, because often we don't know something. I mean, with D3, I try to keep really in tune with that, but just can't anticipate from every angle. We try, but we don't. So when there's issues, we've got a system now where Grant's ordered some blank signs, and Sam's getting good at Cricut making signs, and so we can address those. But like, you know, the turnaround, if we just order them, it's too long and the fences are moved.
Yeah,
And so it's
You have to
It's
be able
tough.
to move on the fly.
yeah.
yeah.
It's temporary though until festivals. I feel like everybody should share them during festivals, because all the, like Dock Holiday, everybody always asks us, where's the best place to park? I feel like we can always share that on some city page or something, on the
Yeah.
event page on Facebook, like pin it on the top of it, so that way all the businesses share it, so you can see those big parking spots for the big events when this is over.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We will maybe put that in some of our posts, make a special post for it, and then just put it in our kind of checklist that we have for the events. Yeah, we know where to park, so we might not think of that, and we don't hear from the customers, so we need that feedback. It's good, thank you.
All right. Let's receive a report, hold discussion, and consider conducting a utility survey to pursue group rates.
So we had something like this. I don't know how well it was received. It was received well, but I don't know how many people took advantage of it years back. So we're familiar with it. I think things have possibly changed since then. And so I think we need to maybe put that before the Economic Vitality Committee to study it. And if somebody's really familiar with the utility rates and how we could, of course, we can do a study. We can send that out to all the businesses and ask them who their carrier is and things like that, so we can kind of get some commonalities, and then, you know, leave a space for comments where if people like have a special, you know, tip to offer, that we could accept that. But I think the Economic Vitality would be a good place to kind of dig deep into that. So that would be my recommendation.
Make a motion that you send it to the Economic Vitality Committee.
I second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We will take that on in economic vitality. All right, on to the special projects report. First, we have music friendly.
So this week, we talked about the healthcare program again, and then we also talked about Rhythm and Rails, which is our September 12th, could be the first use of Heritage Park. So we're really excited about it. It's first-time festival. It's meant to utilize Heritage Park, and it's meant to get people to the different venues throughout downtown, because we've got a lot of music venues. And so we kind of developed, we've heard from those who are going to participate. There are some, like if the Rialto's open by then, they want to participate. They think they're going to be open by then, but you know, construction
You never know.
often takes longer than one thinks, and so I don't know if we could like put our main act there. But whatever they do, we will advertise, and as with the other businesses, like the George and Ivanhoe Ale Works are in. So if, let's say, Black Sheep wanted to put an acoustic musician in there, then that's easy to add because we want music going throughout the day all around. And so when people shop, they encounter musicians, and it's just an atmosphere. But there are, like at, I think, 5 o'clock, the dinner hour before our 7 o'clock main act at Heritage Park, the George is having Trainwreck, is that?
Yeah, there was a few changes around
Okay.
over who was, but I know we had 2 bands booked for that day because we thought we'd do it in the afternoon as well, just so people are out and about, there's still music going.
So while you're looking, also Rebecca might have Victoria Lemons, right? At Ivanhoe Ale the same time.
I would think of 5 to 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's just music going on all day, and then we'll post a schedule. I saw one last night on Facebook. Somebody else is doing that. I thought was a good example that we could use, but there will be music all day throughout downtown, and so acoustic acts while people are dining is good too. And those, like I sent it out to all the restaurants and all the venues. So, let's say Hunter didn't respond. He doesn't plan to have a band in his. He could still do an acoustic act, and that would be a great addition to our day.
It is Trainwreck that night.
Trainwreck.
Yeah. We've got 3 groups that day. We've got Jason Elmore, 12 till 3, Kerosene Drifters, 4 till 7, and then Trainwreck later.
Now, can you repeat that? Jason Elmore for
Jason Elmore, then Kerosene Drifters, and then Trainwreck.
Okay.
So, just so there'll be music going all day.
Yeah. Good.
All right, on to TERS number 3 and the D3 project.
So we were able to give some dates, which I think the 400 block is really looking forward to. The March 16th. Yeah. Yes.
Can we move that to Friday?
We are. I've had that request, and so there's the pub crawl and the Shamrock Stroll is that Friday. So typically the construction schedule says Mondays. That's their date. They're going to move the fences. That's their date they're going to do. They normally do, but I'm just going to have to ask. I think that would be awesome if we
Friday
could.
prior?
Yes.
This is the beginning of spring break. We're so busy.
Oh, okay.
Everyone.
Yeah.
It's one of the busiest weekends downtown.
Okay. And often they do it on the Fridays, but I've just got to make that request. So I get a flood of information at these meetings, and I try to get it all straight in my head so I can convey it where it makes sense. Sometimes I lack in that, but so I'm not thinking, okay, well, that's Shamrock Stroll. Sometimes I do, but it's just like, that's when it's going to happen, okay. And then later on, okay, how's this going to affect everyone? For instance, there's some work going down by the depot right now, and it's going to go through March 23rd. Well, March 21st is their 115th anniversary and the Golden Spike Day celebration with the railroad, and so it would be nice if that were open by the Friday before. We're often able to make sure that that date is hit, but I can't promise that just first. I just have to mention it to them and work toward that. So we're going to try to accommodate that. Some business owners had already requested that. So also on Fannin, on the north side of Fannin, the fences have been extended across the alley because the bricks that are in the street, that's one of our brick streets, remaining brick streets. And so they've got to place the bricks back. They've got to do the concrete bed under it. And so they had to extend it to the alley to get that done, and then they'll move it. And then maybe March 16th, I don't remember what the date is, North Fannin will be opened. So you'll have extra parking there. And then across the street, they'll move across the street and concentrate on that area to be able to open it. I think it's got a May 1st date for where it extends in Fannin on Main. And so I had hoped that they would be able to have it open for Doc Holliday. That was the plan, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to make that. It will only be a small section, but it's in the middle of Main Street. So I've not lost all hope, but that's not what the schedule shows. So that's really all that I can think of on that. If anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right. On to the IKIK.
We have, Public Works has picked up the ICAC signs out of our garage, so that's movement.
All right. What about the Doc Holiday Festival?
We do have a report.
Yeah, I can kind of just go through. I mean, it's kind of like we're combining the last 2 years together as far as layout goes. So 700 block will still have the farmers market in the street. We'll have Frontier Village in the park. We're still working to get Choctaw Nation there. And someone from Frontier Village is reaching out to them. It's had good success with them. So we really want to include them. That's something that we feel like we've been missing. Excuse me. As we move down, we have the food vendors and Radio Vision lot, as we have in the past. We'll have music on the Radio Vision, like balconies, we call it stage, but that balcony, kind of like we did with the Christmas lighting, and last year's Doc Holiday. We'll have the petting zoo next to, on Myrick, as well as the Artist Village and Snap Center again. We'll have the gunfights in the Katy Park again, with vendors across in the Depot District parking lots. We'll have the community partners in the 200 block. The car show, I think, is getting moved to Rusk now, and then we aim to still have the parade and everything this year. So it's moving along. We're excited that the Railroad Museum has a location now in the Depot, so they should be open for Doc Holiday, and we'll be able to put the model trains in there. So it's moving along.
Flux because of the news that the road wouldn't be open, and so we've tried to move things around till we get confirmation what it's going to look like, but it's going well.
So Donna, what's going on down there? Why are they having to do work at that intersection again?
The bricks in the intersection were wearing.
Okay.
All right. On to Eisenhower birthday.
There's not really any update. I know that Sam put one in the minutes here, and it's in October, so there's no need to have additional report on it.
Okay. All right. Committee reports. Do we have an update from Downtown Denison, Inc.?
Probably not, because Mitch is out.
Yeah.
So, Ashlyn, the Shamrock Stroll and the pub crawl is on March 14th. And that's the first event, yeah, so.
All right. Denison Chamber update. They just finished up the trip, or is it today? The trip to Austin, the first since like 2018. They had a chance to meet with Senator Hagenboo to discuss some items. And then next coming up for them will be the quarterly luncheon and the clay shoot that they're gearing up for. And then tourism.
That's me.
Okay.
Hello. Just a few things. I wrote it down though, because I knew I wouldn't remember, even though it's a very short list.
Actually, I've got the website pulled up too for you, whenever you get there.
Perfect. So first thing I had, progressive dinner, that's gonna be on March 28th, so we finalized that and ticket sales have opened. I think we've sold 4 at this point, so we've going pretty good since we just opened those. We've got 8 stops, including us, which is where they'll start, and then go off to the other restaurants, which is Let Us Indulge, Devil's Egg, Horse's Axe, Black Sheep, Homestead, Ivanhoe, George Tavern, and then I think Emily's is gonna serve something within the visitor center when they pick up their tickets. Bluegrass Bandits and Barbecue, we're working on getting sponsors. I think we're currently doing ticket sales and tables as well. We've got 4 sponsors currently, First United, Tyson, George Tavern, and Rib Crib. I don't think there's anything else for that one. We are working on our website homepage, which we've approved, and we'll be moving on to like the next steps for that. But this is kind of a look at what it will be. Obviously, the little navigation tabs will say something other than just navigation item. And then that image will actually be a video that I think we're in the process of working on, because I know the one on our current website was due for an update. But so this is what it looks like, or will look like.
Also be the same.
Yeah, so downtown Denison will have like a sister site is essentially what it'll be. So theirs will look very similar to ours. So all downtown businesses will be listed on theirs. They'll have an event section that'll include all of that. And then ours will focus mostly on, like specifically on tourism, but they'll be connected and like communicate with each other. So, I'm really happy that they added those. And then that would be like our Instagram feed. And then this, I believe, will kind of rotate through all the different like awards and things. So yeah, that's kind of our starting point. And it will just keep going from there. I think two last things. Jordan, I believe, added everyone to our newsletter email so that y'all can see the weekly tourism newsletter that we send out, where we just try to include any events that are happening Thursday through Sunday. I do my best to include everything, but if I ever miss anything, y'all are more than welcome to reach out or send me events, and I'll happily include those. And then I believe Jordan's also started working on promotion for like the St. Patrick's Day event, promoting it on social media. That is all I have.
Is there a parking tab on there?
There's not. I can make sure that's something that's added though.
And we would have, for sure have that.
It would be on
We have
theirs.
one of those already on the downtown website, on the city page for parking in downtown, but not parking in general.
Yeah, we can definitely make sure that's a priority on there too as we get to that part.
All right, thank you for the update. And then on page 7, you'll find the committee meeting summaries for the committees. Look over that real quick. Donna, is there anything in there that stands out that we need to highlight?
Not that I think of. Sam, you know of anything?
Not offhand. Maybe emerging possibilities.
access the tour on May 16th.
Yeah. The economic vitality, imagine the possibilities is going to be a showcase of properties available. And so the architect is also, the state architect is helping us. Previously, they had done a mock-up of the Rialto. And so this time they're going to do 114 and 116 West Woodard. And he's coming on March 13th to do that. And he's also making several visits to some properties like the Rialto, the Hotel Denison, the Travelers, and that one. So if you know of any design assistance needed, then we can try to fit it in for that day. But they will do that design mock-up, kind of just show, it looks like just a regular brick building, but here's what it could be. And there's some space outside where it could have courtyard space plus inside the building. So, just show the possibilities of what it is. And then all the other, like Spencer, you may have buildings that are in downtown that are available. You may want to be on site to show them that day or have the owners. So it's just an open house.
Yeah, I think, didn't Marcus with Katie Depot, he got on his radar because he came to this event and saw what it was and said, I imagine that possibility, what it can be. So, I mean,
Yeah. And I'll have a table out like last time where I have all of our resources of things like grants and the kind of things that people can do to get their building activated.
all right.
And then organization, the awards are tonight, so come tonight. Yes, yeah, we'll have hors d'oeuvres at 6, and then the award show will begin at 7. But it's just a great time to celebrate all of our accomplishments that the business owners have had over the last year, and to celebrate y'all.
All right. And then anything from the director's report?
I can't think of anything else other than just the awards.
Okay. Well, then at 9:37, let's adjourn the City of Denison Main Street Advisory Board meeting.